Happy Tuesday. I hope to be more an instrument of an idea than the author of that idea. This will now be the second election cycle that I have been illegally kept from voting. This will be the second election cycle here in Ohio where the authorities have done nothing about a home with no mortgage that was illegally took, my personal property inside that home illegally took, and my kids being criminally abused for 2,258 days. Now, the villains in this story to my children, to so many families and their children here in Ohio, are wearing American flags. It wasn't snazzy Hugo Boss uniforms. It wasn't elite socialism and communism that came for them. There were people who took an oath to serve the United States Constitution. They took away the person that cleaned their laundry, that cooked their food, that walked them to school. It took away their libraries. It took away their piano. It took away the Walden that their father literally built for them and their children. Now, that happens to a lot of kids. Here comes the good part. You ready for it? Part of going through a lot of abuse, it becomes helpful to understand that you volunteered for it. See, if I volunteer for something that's horrific, does that make me weak? Does that make me a victim? Does that make me less if I fail again and again, no matter how many times I try? It is through our breaks we are forced to heal and let go of nonsense. When you go vote today, I want you to go vote today because I can. I want you to know that if they are in office in any city in Summit County, they know of my problems and they have done nothing. That makes them criminals. I'd like you to know that Governor DeWine knows about it and has done nothing. That and many other things make him a criminal. I'd like you to know that the two standing senators in the great state of Ohio have received numerous emails, numerous letters, numerous requests for help, and they have done nothing. I'd like you to know that the prosecutor for the state of Ohio has been fundamentally failing that office, just like the coward Mike DeWine did before he got there. I'd like you to know that I took 2.5 years to drive around and speak to the top campaign donors of Governor DeWine back when he was a prosecutor to force him to stand up for us, we the people, against slavery. See, he wasn't willing to do that. He wasn't willing to volunteer for that. Now, I get to bicycle there because men with American flags behaved criminally and took that house, took my Walden, took my kids. So where's the good part, Jim? Okay, here it comes. I gave my kids a choice. How you doing? We were sitting in a sailboat in the backyard with no heat in it because they weren't allowed in the house. It was a holiday where their father had no money. So I did my best to make the inside of that sailboat the greatest fort that we could share. And we were going to spend time together, and it was going to be beautiful. And I wanted to ask them how they felt. We had just seen a movie about Thor, and Thor's tired of being a hero. Sometimes dumbasses have a way of getting their dumbass self into the same problems again and again, and it can be exhausting. Sometimes speaking truth triggers the liars, the weak, the undisciplined, and they attack you because of your radiance. And so when the kids asked, why isn't it just 50-50, Dad? And I said, well, it's because the system's broken, kiddo. And it's not worth taking the time now, because you're a little too young, to explaining to you why it's broken. But know this. I believe great things are required of me because great things have been given to me. And we have the opportunity right now to fix this. Well, not fix it just for you guys, but fix it for everybody else coming through. See, most people, it's so horrible and it's so painful that they break, they tap out. If you're there, I'll ask for help. I have plenty of resources available. And instead of purchasing the corruption of Summit County Court, I'll purchase the corruption of a state court. I'll purchase a governor. The wine is definitely for sale. Talked into it. The shame of it. And I'll get your freedom back, kiddo. But if you can hold fast, it's going to be longer than it should. It's going to be rougher than you ever thought it would be. We have an opportunity to fix it for every kid coming down that pike after you. What do you want to do? Now think about it. Don't answer. It's an unfair question. So forgive your father asking you it. But this is the position we are in. I want to do it, Dad. Go get him, Dad. I want to do it, Dad. And from the little son, hell yeah! And the reason those kids were so willing was because of their profound belief and understanding in your ability to be good. You who's watching this, who they don't know. You. Now it's been 2,258 days they've been criminally abused. 2,258 days of people who wanted to wear the American flag on their shoulder and with guns on their hips and flak jackets on, they wanted to steal the home that their dad built them, steal their inheritance, steal heirlooms, clocks that had been in the family for generations, refrigerator that had been in the family for generations, libraries with first editions, with notes in them from brilliant people having read them. All taken by men wearing American flags, by women wearing American flags. So a note to those of you who have been in office, to those of you who are volunteering to be public servants. You are failing. You are failing. 2 election cycles, I don't have a vote. 2 election cycles, none of you can restore my freedom? Is that proof enough that it's time for me to organize my neighbor and violently take it back? Take back that which is inalienable? Now, if you think that there should be a peaceful solution to problems like I have, they exist. That's why you go vote. Go vote because a little Katie, Ella, and Leah believed in you when they stepped off that cliff into the abyss. It was the love of God, the love of their father, the love of themselves that built the foundations needed for them to fall in love with the Constitution. Come join them. Know your love.